Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching SAMAA News. Here are today's headlines. Israeli warplanes target oil storage depots and refining facilities in Tehran, marking the first attacks on such infrastructure since the broader US-backed campaign against Iran began last week. Explosions were reported across the Iranian capital, escalating regional tensions. Iran condemned the strikes, including damage to a freshwater desalination plant on Keshem Island, warning that attacks on critical infrastructure could trigger retaliatory measures. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps reported a missile strike on Israel's Haifa refinery in response. US President Donald Trump says he is not interested in negotiating with Iran, suggesting the war may only end once Tehran's military and leadership are destroyed. The US-Israeli campaign has already killed over 1,300 Iranian civilians, disrupted Gulf security, and raised oil prices. Drone attacks hit Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and the UAE, while Iranian forces targeted US troops in Bahrain. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian apologized to neighboring states and pledged to suspend attacks unless provoked. Hardline clerics are reportedly fast-tracking the selection of a new supreme leader amid rising regional instability. Israel launched further strikes in Lebanon after Hezbollah attacks, pushing deaths there to around 300. The Strait of Hormuz remains effectively closed, disrupting global shipping. Saudi Arabia has warned Iran against further attacks on its territory or energy infrastructure, signaling possible military retaliation if strikes continue. The warning came amid escalating tensions following missile and drone attacks across the Gulf targeting countries, including the UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia. Saudi Foreign Minister Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud told Iranian counterpart Abbas Araghchi that while Riyadh favors diplomacy, continued attacks could prompt Saudi Arabia to permit US forces to use its bases and respond militarily. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi slams ongoing US-Israel military strikes on Iran, saying the offensive should never have happened and urging an immediate return to negotiations. Speaking in Beijing, Wang emphasized that military force cannot resolve the crisis, warning against unilateral aggression and stressing dialogue as the path to prevent further escalation. He also noted that attempts to change Iran's government through external force lack legitimacy and popular support. President Donald Trump says America no longer requires British military assistance in its conflict with Iran, criticizing Prime Minister Keir Starmer for delaying support during the early stages. Trump, writing on Truth Social, referenced London's consideration of deploying the Prince of Wales aircraft carrier, saying, "We don't need people that join wars after we've already won." He suggested the US-UK alliance has been damaged under Starmer's leadership. Britain initially refused use of its bases for US offensive strikes on Iran, but later allowed defensive operations against Iranian missiles. A Russian barrage of drones and missiles struck Ukraine overnight, killing at least 10 people, including 2 children in Kharkiv, and damaging key infrastructure across the country. President Volodymyr Zelensky described the attacks as horrific and urged continued international support for Ukraine's air defense systems. The strikes hit residential buildings, energy facilities, rail infrastructure, and port facilities in Kyiv, Kharkiv, and Odessa. Ukrainian air defense units intercepted 453 drones and 19 missiles, though some still damaged 22 sites.
US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has said the United States could remove sanctions from more Russian oil a day after Washington issued a 30-day waiver allowing the sale of Russian crude, currently stranded at sea, to continue to India. Bessent told Fox Business's Kudlow program that the US may unsanction other Russian oil. He said there are hundreds of millions of sanctioned barrels of sanctioned crude on the water, and, in essence, by unsanctioning them, Treasury can create supply. The war in Iran has entered its second week amid intensifying violence and uncertainty, while Israel expanded attacks into Lebanon, displacing hundreds of thousands. The conflict has spread beyond Iran's borders. Israel has targeted both Iranian and Lebanese sites, including Hezbollah positions in Beirut, prompting an unprecedented evacuation of the city's southern suburbs. Explosions were reported across Israel as defences intercepted Iranian missiles and drones. The UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia also faced fresh attacks. Iran retaliated with strikes on Israel and Gulf states hosting US military installations. The United States Central Command has alleged that Iran carried out attacks on 12 different countries and deliberately targeted civilians. The CENTCOM commander said Iran used attack drones against residential areas in Bahrain and conducted 7 drone strikes on residential neighborhoods. According to the CENTCOM, Iran intentionally targeted civilian populations in the Middle East, adding that the attacks on civilians in the region are unacceptable and will receive a response. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching SAMAA News.